Coach Kyle Brummet. He just won a game of 74-66 against Franklin College. Coach, you were on a 3-game losing streak coming in yesterday. You got 2 games at home. What's the difference between the teams there?
Well, this is our 3rd weekend, back-to-back weekends of the season. We opened the season on a Friday, Saturday at Washington University in St. Louis, and we went 0-2. Right before Christmas, we went to Hiram and Allegheny, which is a unique trip in our league. Also it was a Saturday, Sunday, and we went 0-2. We have a young group, so we're putting these back-to-backs in the schedule purposely to try to get them the experience of having to play 2 nights in a row. And when you get to the conference tournament, you're going to have Friday, Saturdays if you have a chance to win it. So I think it's a combination of a couple things. I'm still figuring out my group of guys. We've had some injuries, we've had some illness, we've had some guys in and out of the lineup. So I'm trying to get a handle on how they're going to fit together. They're trying to figure out how to fit together, and I think we took some steps in the right direction yesterday. A low-scoring win against Chicago where we just kind of grinded and really guarded them well. And I think our team felt, we can win when we're not scoring. We can win when our shots aren't falling. And that probably was the first time where that really registered for some of our younger players. And then today, the first half was very simple.
Yeah.
We couldn't buy a basket.
Yeah.
We were 2 for 16 from 2-point range. So, I think they went in the locker room, and when we played at Rose-Hulman right before Christmas, they went in the locker room with a 4 or 5-point lead, and they were down because they missed some shots. And that really hurt us in the second half. Yesterday and today, they went into the locker room. Yesterday up by a couple, today down by a couple, and they just had a different presence about them. They were picking each other up, and there was energy, and I think that really showed in the second half of both games.
Sure. Now, I kind of been, in my recaps I've done, it seemed like you guys always kind of got off to a slow start. And against Chicago last night, it seemed like you guys kind of came out ready to play.
Yeah.
You think that rest helped?
Probably.
Okay.
Again, a lot of it is these guys kind of figuring out how they fit together.
Yeah.
Last night was the first time that we had played that starting lineup together. Mm-hmm. We took out Rotterman, and wanted to go a little bigger, so we moved Eberhard to a perimeter position. We started Logan White, and I think, that changed our offense a little bit. It took a little bit of time to kind of figure out how they were all going to fit, what we were going to run, what plays I was going to call. Tonight we went with the same lineup. I think we again didn't get off to as good a start today as we did yesterday, but I guess you got to give Franklin a little credit for that. And then I think we kind of figured ourselves out. If you notice, at the end of today's game, we went back to the smaller lineup, and we were able to do that because we had the lead. We played bigger for most of the game, and then once we had a 4, 5, 6-point lead, we could go to that smaller lineup and have a little bit more quickness, a little bit more shooting, some better free throw shooters, and that really gave us a chance to extend the lead down the stretch. And, I got to figure that part out too.
Yeah.
A little bit of it's game to game, but also, our guys have to play consistently enough so I know what I'm going to get from each one of them.
You're talking about trying to figure everybody out. Do you think the freshman, Jack Davidson, think he's really emerging as a leader for this team?
He is. He's really leading by example.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays so hard. He's resilient. Connor Rotterman, number 0. Jack and Connor went to high school together, so they know each other. Mm-hmm. But the other guys got to figure out how to help make them better, right? And they have to figure out how to make the other guys better. And, we are trying to increase our assists and limit our turnovers, but both of those guys scored the ball for us tonight, and it gave us a lift that we needed down the stretch.
Sure. So Looking to the future, you're on a 2-game win streak. How do you see the next 2-3 games?
Yeah, we got to go on the road to Illinois Institute of Technology. It's on the south side of Chicago. They're 8-3. They're a really good team. They have a core group of juniors, so they've kind of grown together a little bit. What we're building towards with our young guys. So it'll be a good challenge for us to go on the road and see if we can have some of the consistent things that work for us in this 2-game stretch. On Wednesday the 3rd when we go up to Chicago. And then we come back and we have a home conference game against Oberlin. And I think a lot of the things that we did well yesterday and today, we've got to continue to focus on. We got to really be a defensive and rebounding-minded group. And if we do that, our offense will take care of itself because we have good offensive players.
Sure. If I'm looking at this right, 41 total rebounds?
We did. We out-rebounded them today, 41-31. 15 offensive rebounds really gives us, the advantage that we're looking for, extra possessions. That was something that we did a poor job of in that 3-game losing streak that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
We just gave up too many second chance points and didn't get enough ourselves. So we focused on that on our first few practices back from Christmas break. We got to keep growing that part of our defense and our rebounding as the identity of this team.
Gotcha. And when is your next home game?
The 6th of January, Saturday the 6th, we play at 3 o'clock here against Wabash College from Ohio.
All right. Well, it'll be a good game. Again, I appreciate you being on.
No problem.